Hey yo, it's your boy Caleko. Today on Mining America, we're going to be talking about self-care. Because I didn't used to do enough of it, and now I feel like I'm playing catch-up. It's not too late for you. It wasn't too late for me. And taking care of yourself will make your day a lot better every day. Ugh. More of that right after this. Now, when I spent all those months out at the fire agate mine, I was really roughing it. On my best weeks, and I should say on my normal weeks, I got an actual shower about once a week. Now, I would still sponge bathe out in the desert, but it just wasn't the same as a real shower, nowhere near. And about once a week, I would be able to make it to town and either get a hotel room, or I would be able to drive to the truck stop that was near there and get a shower there. Now, what happened because of this is I ended up with foot fungus, my feet were extremely dry, and my whole body was having problems in general. And I was so good at dealing with massive amounts of physical pain that I just didn't pay attention to it as much as I should have and could have, and I didn't understand how to take care of myself properly, partially because I never had a father growing up. I literally had no father, and the only stepdads that were ever in my life were abusive pricks of the highest order. Now, since those times, I really enjoy my showers, and I tend to take one twice a day. I take one when I get up, a quick one, and I take one before I go to bed, and that's a bit of a longer, more scrubbing, cleaning one, whereas this one I just get, clean. The other one, the nighttime one, I definitely scrub a lot. Now, I realize that the majority of people that watch my channel are men, so you're really loving this shot, aren't you? Yet, being that it's also a bunch of men, I think that there's probably a bunch of you that don't understand some things like I didn't understand some things. Like, I didn't understand that a lot of my foot pain was coming from dry skin. It ends up that I had a lot of pains that were happening because of dry skin. And I didn't understand that dry skin all over your body ends up creating other situations that happen that are painful that just seem easy to ignore as somebody who's used to living with pain, as I was. I was very used to living with pain. To tell you the truth, I'm still used to living with pain. There's rarely a night where I wake up out of a bed and my back doesn't hurt. I think in my whole life I've had well, I shouldn't say in my whole life, but in the last 15 years, I've had 2 beds I've slept in where I didn't wake up in the morning hurting. I'm just used to hurting in the morning now. And like that with the rest of my body, you get so used to physical pain of certain types that you just start to ignore it, and it starts to become something that's in the background. And that's something that, I learned throughout time, and is something that you shouldn't have to deal with in all facets of life. Now, dry skin seems like a simple subject, yet for me, it wasn't a simple subject because I was not understanding this thing for a long period of time. I have psoriasis, and I used to pay $30 to $60. It was a lot. I used to pay a lot for a little tube, a tube like about this big as this tube of hydrocortisone cream. I used to pay a bunch of money for a tube like that to put on my psoriasis because that is a dry skin condition, and it would not do very much. It wouldn't do much more than a good moisturizer does, like I'm putting on right now. And this moisturizer does really well on my psoriasis, it's only slick at all for a little while and then it's absorbed into your skin. I would suggest this to anybody. I like it better than lotions. I've paid a lot of money for a lot of different lotions over the last couple of years, and most of them leave me feeling really greasy, and I really don't like that slick, greasy feeling I end up having from them. And it's from a bunch of the other additives in this, where this has a whole bunch of different kinds of cocoa butter in it. This would be the specific type of cocoa butter I would point anybody towards. It's a very hard type of cocoa butter and doesn't have a bunch of other oils in it. I like this. It works really well. I use this on my body, but not on my feet and my face. When I'm out of my other moisturizer that I use on my feet, I will totally use this if I'm out of that, especially when I'm going to sleep. And I would recommend that if you're somebody that's dealing with dry skin like I was dealing with dry skin, I would recommend doing what I do. And that is putting it on before you go to bed and putting it on the moment that you wake up. For me, these are the two best times to put it on because I shower at both of those times, and the water in the area I live in makes my skin extremely dry anyways. So this moisturizer definitely helps get my day going and not feeling all crinkly and crackly and have extra pain that I really don't need and shouldn't have to deal with, because that's really the way dry skin is it can cause all kinds of other pains. Like on my foot, for instance. I used to have these spots right here, where I still have a little callus right there, and I used to have this spot right here, and right in between where my toe and my foot meet, they would split. And I'm telling you, that is it's an extremely painful place to have stuff like that happen. I'm sort of cross-eyed without my glasses. The pain of having your toes split from the bottom of your foot is very similar to having your fingernail rip up from your finger. It's a very, very stinging and sharp pain that doesn't want to go away for a couple of days. It's a tad bit ridiculous to deal with, especially since it's so easy to solve the problem and not have to deal with it in general. Now this moisturizer I use on my feet, it's the Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Foot Cream. It does give my feet a little bit of that slick feeling for a long period after I've put it on. It's like a no friction, almost oily, but not really oily. It makes them feel extremely soft to the foot itself while I'm doing other things. And the reason I really like this cream is because I've gone through about 15 different foot creams in this last year, and this is the one that really works the best for me. This is the one that really keeps the dry skin and the calluses on the heels from coming back. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I really didn't understand how much dry skin could cause you pain, because now that I've gotten my feet to where they flex and bend like a normal person's foot, I go through so much less pain in a day that before I started doing this, I would be having foot pain through most of my day, and I would be getting a hot sensation. And what I didn't understand is part of the reason I was getting such a hot sensation from my feet is that they were so dry that they were rubbing on the bottoms of the socks and the shoes, and it was literally creating heat. Now I moisturize twice a day. Costs me a little bit more a month, but I sure am feeling way less pain. I can walk a lot more. And throughout, all in all, it's a better way of living. Like my quality of life is a tad bit better now that I use moisturizers than before when I didn't use moisturizers. And when it comes to the hands, it's a huge deal also. I moisturize my hands probably about 4 times a day because of how much I wash my hands. I wash my hands a lot, and if you wash your hands a lot, then that leads to dry and cracked skin a lot. And if you've seen other people that post videos and pictures of the stones that they cut and they're in their fingers, you will see hands that looked dry and cracked and just really, really rough. And you get used to living like that, but it's another form of living in pain that you really shouldn't need to live with and you don't have to tolerate, and you can fix simply yourself. I do not advise anybody having their hands to where they are completely cracked and dry and burning all the time, because it's really uncomfortable and in general it sucks and it's just something that you shouldn't deal with. Yet using some moisturizer a few times a day to keep your hands to where they're nice and flexible and soft will definitely give you a better quality of life. Spending hundreds of dollars and getting rid of stinky creams that make me smell like woman's perfume or a Bed Bath & Beyond. These are the three I really like. The scents are very mild if there is any scent. They're not heavily perfumed at all because I really can't stand that. Now the cocoa butter is the general body moisturizer I use, and it smells great because it has that cocoa butter smell, and cocoa butter always smells good. This Nivea, it works really good for my face. I really like it. That's what I use this for. And it has a very, very light scent. It doesn't last very long. I'm not smelling the scent off my face after I put it on and it's been a couple of minutes. And then the Gold Bond Healing Foot Cream. I've been through a few different foot creams and regular lotions, and this, in my mind, by far is the best. It gives my feet the best feeling to where they feel like they're not going to dry out for long periods of time. And at the same time, don't put this on and then go walking around your house barefoot on some hardwood floors. You will slip and fall on your ass. I hope this video was in some way helpful and informative to you. If you have been having these problems, I hope this video steers you in the right direction to stop having these problems, because it really is something you can take care of yourself. Now, if you have a wife, because the major demographic of my channel is white men, if you do have a wife, she probably goes and gets pedicures every now and then, and it's something you should possibly look into too. I've only done that one time, being that I don't have lots of money to spend on stuff like that, yet pedicures are definitely not about being girly. They are not about beauty. They are about self-care. And I never understood this until I had my first pedicure. So don't be scared. Go in and get yourself a pedicure. That'll help you get on the road to taking care of yourself a little bit better. And I'm going to get to my breakfast. 4 boiled eggs and 2 bananas every single morning. I love you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you found this video helpful. And I'll see you soon.